You're listening to Cross the Line 1524, the Common Man's Podcast.
Well, I came here for just one drink. That's all I got now, don't you think? Hey, no. That's right. That's how it all gets started here at the Rusted Nail Speakeasy. Just one drink. Welcome to Cross the Line 1524. We're recording with a live audience as usual. Sit back, relax, and join Dwayne Bischoff, Jeff Montag, Reuben Hunt, and myself, Alan Stenger, for the Common Man's Podcast. Cross the Line 1524. Somebody please help me off. Well, you know that theme music's only halfway right, because we're not at the Rusted Nail Speakeasy.
That's true. We're missing something.
Yeah. So I'm Alan Stenger with
Dwayne Bischoff.
Jeff Montag.
We're missing Reuben Hunt. And before we introduce the next couple guys...
That's old boys ain't much for working. 2 shots on the barrel and they're talking about bourbon. Talking about a few other things that they don't know. Got a question, no need to ask. They don't have a clue, so raise your glass. Take a sip with the Bowl Brothers. Now it's on with the show. From the heart of central Kentucky, the bourbon capital of the world, it's 2 shots on a barrel.
So those of you who have listened to our podcast in the past, we've referenced another podcast that started just about the same time ours did, and it was called 2 Shots in the Barrel down here in Kentucky. So we are at Dant Crossing down in Bourbon Country, and sitting across from us we have the Bow Brothers. Guys,
What's up, fellas?
Man, oh man, how cool is that?
who would have thought we'd been sitting across from each other?
You know what? I'm going to have to leave because the real celebrity that didn't come down with you guys. What's his name?
Reuben.
Yeah, Reuben's big time, and he didn't even show up.
You know
so
what?
That's kind of crazy.
What's funny is you're sitting in his seat.
Well, watch it. We usually loosen the screws up on his chair, so in case you fall.
See, that would be perfect. Perfect. So, hey, Reuben, we miss you, buddy.
Absolutely. And I got to tell you, I'm impressed, man. You played the intro music. I mean, come on.
Hey, you got to do it right.
That's first-class operation.
I mean,
right here.
how often do podcasters get to interview each other?
I know, and let me tell you how weird it is. You know, you coming in without show prep, and we're like, oh, they're going to drill us. They're going to get us good. Man, y'all are sharp. You're all wearing cool shirts, and here we are just a sweaty mess coming in here.
Good.
But I can tell you guys are a lot you more professional than we are.
Oh, yes, definitely.
No, you know what?
You haven't listened to all our podcasts.
Yeah, this is called a good showing. You know,
Look good, guys.
We have
Look
a good
good.
time. We have a good
Absolutely.
time. So talk about, you know, it was funny because we started our podcast in May, I guess, of 2020, and you guys started just a little bit after that. And the way I found you is we had come down here actually and interviewed the owner of the Jailer's Inn. So
Paul McCoy.
yeah. So I'm like, well, I'll see if anybody else has done that. So I put that in, search for it, and you guys came up, and it was just like, cool. Then you guys did some stuff on hemp, and we had just done an interview with a guy on hemp. So
Sweet.
It's kind of neat to watch how both podcasts have grown to many different countries, many different states and listeners. It's awesome.
Isn't it cool, man, to just be a common man?
That's what exactly.
And then people, why are people listening to us? Why us? And it's because we're just normal people.
That's right.
With something to say, and it's just neat for me. I thoroughly enjoy it.
So our listeners they know who we all are. So why don't you each talk a little bit about yourself? What you do, how you got in podcasting?
Wait. We got a problem here, Alan.
What's
sitting in the middle of the table
that's
here?
what's wrong.
And
that's what's wrong.
sitting I see him sipping on the ice water,
Yes, it's
so we've
good.
got a problem.
Yes.
That's some great ice, too, by the way.
So you mentioned briefly we're at Dant Crossing. So there's a new distillery opening here. The Dant family's opening a distillery down here, Logstill Distillery, and their brand of bourbon is Monk's Road. So we've got a barrel pick here of Monk's Road.
And this is our virgin
experience
with Monk's Road. So
You're never going to be the same after this. This is some good stuff, boys.
So before we get too far along, we got to get a little something in the glass in front of us, or there'll be
That'll
no
get us
reason to
started.
take a break.
Breaks? What are breaks?
I'm excited. I not only the intro music, J-Bo,
We also are partaking in Monk's Road. I mean, this is awesome. I love your all's what you got going on here.
Oh, it's just like you guys. I mean, we look forward to your podcast, as soon as it comes out. And it's like, I kind of follow you ahead of time. I know you're recording with this person or this person. And like us, we have a couple podcasts in the closet, I guess I'll say, that, ahead of time. So we're 3 or 4 ahead.
That's awesome.
So it's all good. So tell us what you know about Monk's Road Bourbon.
Go ahead, buddy. You're well versed in this.
Well, I do know that it is outstanding. I sort of have learned.
Cheers, guys.
So I got to tell you about how J-Bo enjoys his bourbon. It's all about, and we've talked about this so many times. People say, I taste this and I taste that. J-Bo and I just drink it and we either like it or we don't. And I can tell you Monk's Road is outstanding. It's a 6-year-old. It is much like the heritage that is the Dant family. And so it's the first bourbon that they have put out. The shirts that we are wearing today, Rattle and Snap, will be coming out probably later on in the summer, but it's just a darn good bourbon.
Well, we're going to find out right now. Cheers, brothers.
Cheers. Oh, it's good.
Ah, yes.
Very smooth. Very smooth.
See, and I'm a little like you two. I either like it or I don't.
Yeah.
I do. I'm starting to be more of a connoisseur. Alan's wife is teaching us. She's the smarter one of us all. But I mean, I'm starting to notice more. But I'm kind of the same thing. I either smell it, taste it, like it, or move on.
I'm real uncomfortable talking with people in public wanting to know if I smell nuts, and so I'm like, I don't want to talk to you about this. I don't smell berries, especially don't smell nuts, and what else? Caramel and all that other. I don't
Vanilla,
taste it. Yeah,
J-Bo, you drink it for the burn, and that's it.
I drink it for the burn, and it really, really is one of my favorites.
Yeah, and one of the coolest things in an earlier podcast we had, longtime master distiller Steve Nally, who spent so many years with Maker's Mark as a master distiller there, and later opened up a distillery in Wyoming, the first distillery that was opened in Wyoming, and then later came back out of retirement to Bardstown Bourbon Company. And so we're just having a sit down and talking to him, and we're like, tell us how you enjoy bourbon. And it was the same thing. It was like, at the time, I was kind of laughing at J-Bo because he would say, I don't taste any of these things. And Steve Nally here's this historic master distiller, and he's like, I either like it or I don't.
Right. So we learned something. We were over at we came down with a group that owns several liquor stores to do barrel picks. So we ended up over at Limestone to do a Yellowstone barrel pick. So
good choice.
So Mr. Steve Fonte took us through and did the barrel pick with us. And so he says hello because I let him know we were hooking up with you guys.
He is our favorite.
But he taught us something a little different, and that's when you're smelling the bourbons, smell it with each nostril, not just with both at the same time. And it's amazing the different, because each side of your brain, of course, thinks a little different. Right. One side mine thinks right, the other one thinks left. And when you smell that bourbon, you get 2 different flavors off of that. That was amazing.
I was born without something to get that to happen. So,
I was thinking,
it's like
J-Bo, we could completely stop up our nostrils, and we're still not going to be able to do that.
I think we had the same conversation with Fonte and then he got me all choked up by trying to breathe and drink at the same time. I don't know.
You're supposed to smell with your mouth open,
that's
too.
It.
Yeah, that's it.
Because it'll change.
That's it.
I tell you, in the couple of tastings we've done this weekend is I've learned that. And, you open your mouth slightly and as you smell, and it changes the smell of the bourbon. So we're becoming more refined.
Hey, we're getting fancy is what's happening.
Yeah,
getting fancy.
When you guys started your podcast, and for our listeners, they're 99.9% of what they talk about is bourbon. You guys really didn't know a whole lot. You were starting out as infants in the bourbon.
It's true.
As tasters, consumers, and you were learning about it as you went on.
We knew enough about it to get drunk at a party. That's about all we knew about it. It was fun to drink at parties.
You knew where to find it.
We knew where to go and buy it. And we knew just enough to get in trouble. But once you dive into it and see the process behind it, it really is. It takes you to amazing places, and as right here at the Dance Crossing with you guys. I mean, we were talking the other day how, man, this podcast and bourbon has taken us places we never thought.
Right.
So it's really, really cool thing. Still learning.
Yeah, for me, I was always a cigar guy and enjoyed premium cigars. And so, with J-Bo, honestly, he was a little more of a bourbon guy than, look at this, Alan Stinger. You are talking our game
What happened here?
You are the man.
Hey, got to take
Jeez
care of
Louise.
Yes.
That's why he gets paid 3 times as much as the rest of us. That's what.
Dude, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What
You're
a
welcome.
beautiful cigar. But so no, I was a cigar guy. I really didn't drink a lot of bourbon. I understood the history and the tradition of bourbon, but I just didn't really drink a lot of bourbon. I was more of a craft beer, kind of guy. J-Bo is not a beer kind of guy. So when we started Two Shots, it's one of those things that honestly, as I got to talking to some of our guests, I realized just how similar the production of bourbon and the production of cigars truly are. And I was like, this is cool. I think I can really get into this. And so I really enjoy, before, like J-Bo was talking about, you drink bourbon just for the buzz or the burn or whatever. Now you drink it like I do, like I smoke a cigar to enjoy it.
Right.
And there's just you realize just what goes into making a quality bourbon.
And there's a good pairing between a quality bourbon and a quality cigar.
Yes.
So it's all good. So before we poured to Monk's Road, we were going to each of you talk a little bit about yourselves, how you got where you're at, and all that good kind of stuff.
I'm pretty worthless, to be honest. I don't have much to say about myself, but I mean, this is the big banker guy. I'll let you start things off and.
Listen,
tell me all about it.
I mean, I'm just a guy. I've been a banker for like 30 years. I've always wanted to be like the radio DJ kind of bug bit me like when I was a kid, and I've told this story many times. I grew up wanting to be a radio DJ. And out of Louisville, the big radio markets in Louisville, the country stations like WAMZ and these places, Coyote Calhoun, which was a long-standing DJ in Louisville, Bobby Jack Murphy, all of these guys were my heroes. I would sit by the radio and listen to baseball games. I would listen to Marty Brenneman and Joe Nuxall, and of course Kentucky basketball games, Kaywood Ledford and those guys. So, but I realized early on when I sent a demo tape to our local radio station,
he sucked.
God love JT Whitlock. It was the best tape ever, and I didn't
Your mama
even,
told you that,
yeah,
didn't she?
Yes, she did. And I didn't even get a sniff of an offer, and I said, okay, we got to do something different. And to the insult, my kid brother, who was big into speech and drama, gets hired a couple of years later. So I ended up being a banker for 30 years. But anyhow, I had the opportunity to get back and do some radio on the side. J-Bo is Mr. Mom and got bored during COVID and said, let's do a podcast. And he stayed on me and drove me nuts until finally we got a podcast. And so, but anyway, I'm a banker. I'm a father. 3 lovely kids. 22, 19, 15, a beautiful bride that will be here tonight supporting me at Dance Crossing. Yeah, and thanks, J-Bo, for the sound effects there. So,
So listen, the reason why he hangs around me so much is because I was in radio in that big market in Louisville, and I was competing against Coyote Calhoun on a station called The Hawk. I was with the Bandy and Bailey show, fresh out of high school, and took that as far as we could go, and stations got sold, blah, 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 and then I just went into mobile DJing forever, been doing that for 20-something years, and then I got into booking concerts, and did that for a while, and then I said, Jim, can we please just try this podcast thing out? He didn't know what a podcast was. To be honest, I really didn't know what a podcast was, but we needed to do something to get out of the house.
Right.
And he still does a Sunday morning harvest show every Sunday morning.
Actually, I listen to it every now and then
There
because
you
you can
go.
get it online. And
Yeah. So it's a very popular show. Can't believe you left that out, man. You're going to make people mad because you left that out. That's terrible.
Well, you know what? The night's young here.
There you go.
I know you got someplace to go in just a little bit.
Oh,
but
yes, but it's cooler in here.
yeah, it is.
out
We
there.
were going to do it out there on the patio. We walked out there, and I'm like, nope.
Nope. No way.
I think you made the right choice. I'm enjoying the air conditioner while it lasts.
Definitely. But yeah, man, we've been into a little bit of everything, and now I have a son and daughter, married as well, and so we're just rock and rolling, man. And listen to you guys. We listened to you again on the way here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you got to listen to some of a raccoon
yes,
policies, I guess.
yes, and then we tuned into your radio station.
Yeah, Hometown Radio
That's
USA.
right. We did.
Yeah.
We did. So.
I actually learned something. I was looking at your all's reviews and was talking about how somebody had made mention that they always learned something when they listen to your all's podcast. I learned that you can politically correct here euthanize raccoons in Indiana.
Absolutely.
Yes.
In fact,
I did not know that.
It's actually recommended.
it's recommended if you catch them in a trap that you euthanize them.
I don't want to get you guys in trouble again here.
Oh, no, we're good.
Yeah,
Now,
so
look-
it was amazing. We did a you heard the second, I don't know if you heard the podcast prior to that, but 6 of them. They got into my chicken house and got one of my hens. And so 6 coons later, we talk about it, and I had several comments.
Hey, look.
You know, Jabo has a similar story involving turtles. Jabo, you remember
I
this?
forgot about that.
Turtles.
Man. My son, somebody gave us a turtle.
There's a
like-
turtle on a road. Somebody
Yeah.
found a turtle on a road. And
on
they're
the
like,
highway, and they knew that my son Salem wanted a turtle. So like they were doing the right thing. Well, they thought they were doing the right thing by saving a turtle, and I had no idea what the turtles were, what their names are, whatever. So I went to a Facebook group. Said, "Hey
that was
guys,
a wrong decision.
There you
hey
go.
guys, well, I just like to know. This turtle was saved out of the road and given to us. We just want to know what kind it is.
Right.
Wow. Wow. I was called a poacher. I was called everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look.
There's too many Karens in the world.
Oh, Karen's like crazy.
Thought you just stole somebody's child,
Yes.
didn't
I'm like, look, we didn't say we're keeping the turtle.
We just asking them, what
Trying
is
to-
it?
I'm trying to educate my son on what kind of turtle it is.
you? And
if-
what you should do for it and help
Yes.
take care of it. And
If I don't know what kind it is, if I throw it in the pond, is it going to live? Talk to me here. No, they just.
They were ready to hang you up.
They sent me emails
So-
saying we see that you live in Kentucky. They were tracking me down.
So here
Oh
you go.
my God.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the heat.
Crazy.
I'm going to take the heat off of you. Where we come from in Indiana, you know what we do with turtles?
I hope you eat them.
we eat them.
Yes.
Turtle soup.
turtle
yes,
soup's
but don't
good.
go to that Facebook page and tell them.
Yeah.
Please don't, because they were turtle lovers are mean people.
And now you're gonna have.
Oh, I'm done.
You're gonna have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're
Toast.
gonna have these guys. It was raccoons one week, and the next week it's turtles.
Who's the guy that likes it?
That turtle man.
Yeah. Actually, we're friends with Turtle Man.
Yeah.
I saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
so-
had the Turtle Man on one of our shows. Absolutely the funniest dude you've ever met in your life.
Yes. We talked about. Well, he gave us a set of rules when he came in. He's like, "Look, we can't talk about deer hunting because of the same issues you're having with raccoons."
Right.
Right.
He said, "Please, I don't want to get in trouble again." I said, "Okay." Well, the first thing he does, he dives into deer hunting, and he talks about whatever you do, don't put deer urine in your pocket. They'll come and hump you. And I'm like, "What is happening? What is happening? Oh my God!"
So he set you up.
Yeah, he set me up. I'm like, so
It was so funny.
it's pretty crazy. We knew him before he made it to big
Right,
time
right.
and to where he is now, and he's just the same old.
Yeah, it
Great
really
guy.
is.
Good old Ernie Brown.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Good
That's
stuff.
cool. So, I mean, you've learned a lot along the way about bourbon. So, I'll be honest. When I listened to your first couple podcasts, I'm like, they don't know what the heck they're talking about.
Nothing.
But but what was great is you said that. He said, we don't know what we're talking about here. We're learning along the way.
Yep.
And so what would you say is the number one thing you've learned about bourbon?
Go ahead.
What the heck you always look at me to answer the hard questions?
You're the brains, I guess.
the brains.
Yeah, you must be.
You
He's
push
the
the
looks.
buttons.
He's the looks. You're the brains.
That's right.
I guess what it's the number one thing that I've learned about bourbon. I know I drink a heck of a lot more bourbon now than I used to.
Hey, do you mind if I talk?
I was going to say you're a little low there, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Again, I never thought that I would and just enjoy, drinking bourbon. And I don't want this to come across, J-Bo, that you've made me into an alcoholic, because I'm not. But I do enjoy it. And I think just, what all goes into the process to end up with what is the finished product. The other thing that I've learned, and I think this is a myth that's out there, a lot of people believe you have to spend a lot of money on a good bourbon. And some of the guests that we've had on have reinforced the fact that you do not have to do that. One of the guys was Andrew Webrink, who is really, he works for Independent Stave Company. He is in their research and development department. And that's one of the things that he kept on reinforcing is talking about just some quality bottom shelf bourbons that are out there. And for a lot of people out there, they're like, I've got to go out and get the Pappies, or I've got to get the Blantons, or whatever. And so now I find myself, I'm going to that bottom shelf a lot of times.
Yeah, Pappy's and Blanton's good, don't get me wrong, but not all of us can afford that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, you can afford the entire bottom shelf and part of the second shelf before you can afford the one bottle of. Right.
Exactly. So, I mean, what was that $12 bourbon that Mellow? It's not Mellow.
Yeah, it was Mellow Corn or something.
Yeah, Mellow Corn. I mean,
it was like, I think you can get it for like an $8 or something.
Yeah, and it was like, well, I don't hate that. It's not
well,
bad.
we've also had some very high dollar bourbons that, quite honestly,
I'm with you.
You poured his paint.
We poured
thinner.
one down. We poured one down the drain.
Yeah.
Ruben bought one. We were trying to think of the name
Dag on
of
you,
it.
Ruben.
Come on, Ruby.
Well, he brought it in. He's like, "Oh man, guys, I've heard all this. This is great. I just got this bottle." He brings it. He takes the first drink and literally just went over to the sink, and
wow,
it was bad.
It was the kind of stuff you couldn't even mix and make it.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was
Nasty.
That
good.
is terrible.
Yeah, usually you get a bad bottle, you can mix it and get rid of it and not waste it. But no, he dumped it down the sink.
that's
It's like,
terrible. We've had a bottle or two of that. I won't mention the names, but it had chocolate barley in it, and it messed my life up for a little bit. I couldn't handle.
Yeah, I'm not sure chocolate and bourbon are necessarily meant to go together.
It hurt. It hurt.
That's no good.
And when you're drinking it in a podcast, you got to swallow it. If the person that brought it's right in front of you.
But with that said, J-Bo does much better with chocolate bourbon than he does coffee.
Oh my gosh, you can't do coffee.
Not a
I
coffee
hate
drinker.
coffee.
I mean, I can suck that stuff down.
J-Bo starts like going in convulsions after he's had coffee.
We had some of our dear friends owns a coffee business in Lebanon, and they came in and they were teaching us how to drink coffee. It's just like bourbon. How to drink, how to swirl it, how to smell it. And I had so much coffee that day during that show that we had to do another podcast afterwards, and he left and my hands were shaking. I could not stop shaking, and my heart was racing. I said, Jim, I might have to go to the hospital, man. I can't stop. I don't like this, man. And I drink caffeine all the time. But it's whatever crack they had in that coffee messed my life up. And so I haven't touched it since. I'm like, I'm out. There's no way.
So one of the things we've learned doing a podcast, and I think you guys have too, is it opens up the doors for you to meet so many different people, different walks of life. Who's some of the people that you've met through the podcast that, I mean, what's amazing for us, we meet them and then they become friends. It's been pretty amazing.
I think one of the coolest things we've done is with Denny Potter at Maker's Mark. Denny's a unique individual. He's not highfalutin. He is just as normal as you and I, and he takes you under his wing, and he takes you places at Maker's Mark that not many people get to go. And I tell the story all the time that we were sitting at the table at this conference room, a really old table, really old chairs, and I'm like, man, we got to be careful not to scratch this up. This is antique stuff. And then he comes in, and we talk, and he's like, he told Jim, he said, Jim, you know who sat in that chair right there, that same exact chair? And he pointed up to the ceiling, or not ceiling, but the wall, and there's pictures everywhere. And there's pictures of Colonel Sanders sitting in these same chairs at that same table, presidents, anybody who's anybody sat at that table. And I'm like, how in the heck are we sitting at this table with some of these names? Colonel Sanders. I mean, come on. So that, for me, was my favorite. I'm pretty sure that was... We would have never made it there if we weren't in a podcast in the bourbon business. So, what about you?
As far as some guests, you have to probably go to the Cornbread Mafia guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We really enjoy this
we've
podcast.
enjoyed this.
Yeah, those were, as I was, a teenager or younger when all of this was going on, and so you would kind of hear these stories, and as you got older and it become more and more pretty much a nationwide story. And then you hear about Johnny Boone and Johnny being this most wanted fugitive and all of these stories that you hear about these guys. And I'll never forget one of the Bobby Joe Shoemaker. And I told him this. I said, I was scared to death of you before we went down there and started talking to him. And so when those guys are as good a guys as you will find anywhere. And so to have the opportunity to dispel a myth that about those guys and be able to sit across and eat a good old Bickett homemade Angus burger with these guys, it was really something that I'll never forget. I wouldn't have had that opportunity to do that had it not been for J-Bo driving me nuts about a podcast.
And what was funny is during those podcasts, we had hemp hanging over us. We had hemp. We were pretty much leaning on bags of hemp. And one of them said, that's real marijuana, don't you? And he's like, Jim's like, oh my gosh, is it really?
I didn't know.
You can't tell. It's all in the chemistry. It's all in the DNA.
So
it was
pretty cool.
as soon as it was funny because Jimmy Bickett, one of the Bickett brothers, was there as we got out of the car to meet us, and you could smell the aroma of the hemp. And so my first thought was, Jimmy's been having some fun today because he's right there at the car. I'm like, he's been smoking a little something other today. What was the hemp?
Yeah, it all smells the same.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It really does. Yeah. And what's cool about it, they're having a hemp fest out there September 11th. So if you guys want to go out there and meet all of them, they will all be. Johnny Boone will be there.
So September 11th this year is every year we have at our place a gator fry.
I was just telling Jim about
So
that.
Unfortunately, I was going to ask you guys to come up, but it's the same. You're emceeing that thing too, aren't you?
We're emceeing that during the day, and then we're running here that night and doing the show here. So
good deal, yeah. So we do our gator fry September 11th. So
okay, cool.
We'll be frying gator, frog legs, fish, chicken.
All my favorites.
Raccoon? No, I'm just kidding about the raccoon.
You got any turtles in there?
There'll be some mystery.
There
meat,
may
so
be
you just
turtles
take
there.
that for
There may
whatever
be.
you want.
There's a mystery meat every year. So
That's awesome. We're going to have to get to that one time.
We will, absolutely.
So what's amazing about the whole Cornbread Mafia thing, those guys, they spent 25, 30 years in jail for something that's legal now in most states.
a lot of states.
And we asked them about that. Are you bitter? And they said, no, we're just glad we survived.
Right. So it wasn't legal then, but the way, once you listen to their story, it was really the federal government that,
changed the rules of the
it's
game.
not like
Yes.
they're
a little bit, and,
doing coke or anything. Well,
maybe.
Yeah, but they changed the game just so they could catch them.
Right.
Growing something that, quite honestly, God put on this earth.
was a natural
Yeah.
product.
Yeah. I would be bitter. Yeah. I know they're taking the high road.
Yeah, I think they're just taking. What else at this point in their life are they going to do?
Right, exactly.
They're able to come back out. They're doing the CBD stuff. And writing books, and
they're doing good.
They're doing okay.
To use it to their benefit now. Like you said, don't be bitter about it because then it just makes you bitter in life and you won't succeed.
Exactly.
But here's what the life dealt me. Now I'm going to use it to my benefit and excel with it. And
it's kind
why
of
not?
interesting that everything they learned back before then, they're using now legally to make a living. and make a good living and help other people with their
Right.
CBD products and,
It's
and stuff
wonderful.
like that. But I think for our listeners that aren't familiar with that particular story, it's just a very interesting story. You know, there's a few of us that like those crime stories, right? So it's just a very interesting story if you're into that stuff to go back. And I know there's some books, they've written some books now to kind of basically lay out that whole what happened and the process and how it became a federal offense as opposed to prior.
Yeah.
And that's when they really got into big
More
problems.
books are in the works.
Yeah, so for our listeners, you can look up, get on the internet, look up the Cornbread Mafia.
Yeah.
That'll probably get you just about everything you need to know.
That's right. And if you want their products, it's BickettandBoone.com
Exactly.
if you want to go to their website and buy their oils and whatever else they have out there, T-shirts.
So I've been using CBD for a while now, and I'm a firm believer in it. So.
My wife used it for pain in her knee, and I mean, it gets her by, and it's a great product, and there's no side effects. I mean,
No.
that's the good thing. It's just, it's instant relief for her, and, you know, hey, whatever works.
Hey,
right now.
it's from a plant. Put
Right.
it on.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's good stuff.
Right.
The bourbon has a similar effect from me, J-Bo.
Well, CBD oil doesn't put me under quite as fast as bourbon does. So
Well, this Monk's Road it's going down smooth.
it's smooth.
I gotta tell you,
This
it
is
is. It
pretty
is
good.
very smooth.
I thoroughly enjoy it. We're going to take a bottle back to our truck behind the stage, and so when we get that little thirsty
Is there not any in the green room?
There might be. It's too fancy for us, man. We got to throw some stuff in the truck, so kind of keep it real. So, yeah, he said, "You bringing anything to the show?" I'm like, "Yes. I have waters. I have some teas. I have." And then he stopped me and said, "Do you have bourbon?" I said, "I'm not bringing another product on."
Yeah,
to
he was
the site."
telling me all these other things. I got water, I got Sprite, I got tea, I got. You got any liquor?
So it's funny. So we were going to pick up a bottle in town on Monk's Road. Well, we forgot all about it, you know.
Right.
Then we're here, and we got some other bottles of other things. I'm like, we're not going to sit here at Dan Crossing,
Right.
do a podcast, and drink anything but Monk's Road.
That's the way I feel. Yeah, it's just really good stuff. I'm thoroughly impressed with their product, and if you haven't tried their gin yet, the gin is selling. I think they said faster than the bourbon right now. So
Wow.
Yeah,
it's really good.
we talked to Wally, and he could not believe the response, and a lot of it is in bars where the bartenders absolutely love, and it's the dry gin, right? And they absolutely love it.
So they push it, and, that,
And
I mean that's
and-
what
yeah.
that's what it takes.
Yeah, and so
One thing about gin, though, it's only aged 6 months.
Yep.
So it's something you can put out
Right.
constantly, and 6 years here,
Right.
6 months, and with
Right.
it selling that much, man, that's a good thing.
Well, it helps pay the bills.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
Yes.
they've got a beautiful facility here just getting going. I mean, there's a few things done that are very nice, but there's so much more, coming in the future that, we're hoping the restaurant, they're talking, I guess, spring, early summer next year will be open. And we were talking to some police. We were at the Barrels this morning, the Cooper.
Kentucky Cooper.
you
Kentucky
went out there,
Cooperage,
huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
And we were talking to a gentleman there and talking where we were standing, and we were talking about this is going to be a destination.
Yeah.
This isn't your typical distillery. This is where like we were talking. We come down here for us, we're a couple hours away. Leave Friday morning, be here Friday afternoon, be here Friday night, spend Friday, Saturday night here, maybe pick up a concert, the restaurant be open, have dinner, and not leave the house
Yeah.
here, and just a nice, quick, close to home, relaxing weekend, and have a nice
killer.
place to just chill out for a little bit.
Did you talk to Pat? It was Pat his name?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Pat's
Yep.
our buddy. He's
Yeah.
a good guy.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's a former UPS. He retired from
Yeah.
UPS, and now he's doing this. He actually took his daughter's job, and Ann's job, and she's working inside now. But that place is killer.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
If you're
Really
ever
enjoyed-
if
we
you're
enjoyed
ever
that
in
today.
town, you have to go to where bourbon starts, and that's right there where they make the barrels.
Right, and it's amazing to see where all the different bourbons use their barrels. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all over, and it's just not bourbon barrels. They use them for other products as well. So it's amazing to see.
About a mile away from there, going into town, and I didn't know this for years, but we have another place that makes barrels. It's called Canton Cooperage, and they make wine barrels. They make high-end bourbon barrels, and they hooked us up with a. Do you remember how big that barrel is? We're getting
It's
500
something like
So
that.
yeah, it's like two grown men can stand inside it.
Wow.
And they sell a lot of them for people for hot tubs. That's how big they are. So they're hooking us up.
And you guys interviewed some people from there on
Yes,
your podcast.
yes.
I really enjoyed that podcast.
That
It was
was-
just so informative.
Just blew my mind that I didn't even know it was in my own hometown.
Exactly.
So Canton's is an amazing place. They make amazing barrels. So next time you come into town, give them a call.
We'll have to check
And
that
do
one
that.
out.
ask for Melanie. She'll take care
I
of
was
it.
going to say, that's the one where the lady's running the place now.
Yeah, she's the first female. I don't know her job title, but first one that's ever
Boss.
had that. Yeah, boss. That's it. That's it.
Well, cool. Cool.
See,
So we've alluded a little bit to what you guys got going on this evening. What's going on next weekend? You guys are involved in that too, right? So why don't you kind of fill us in a little bit more in detail what that's about?
Yeah, so one of the cool things that the Dant family, you guys kind of talked about it. I mean, it's funny. Jabo and I were talking about this today. You know, the daunting task of starting a distillery would be enormous enough, right? But instead of just doing a distillery and ending there, Wally Dant and the Dant family, his cousins Charles and Lynn, are building this resort, if you will.
Yeah.
And so, as a part of that, tonight opens the amphitheater, affectionately known as the Amp at Dant Crossing. And so, one of the cool things that Jabo and I had was the opportunity to get to know Wally. And he was on our podcast, and so we kiddingly, this guy, we put him on the spot, honestly.
I wear him out.
We put him on the spot, and we said, look, you get this amphitheater going, we're going to be your MC guys, right? He's like, of course, And so...
You're thinking jokingly.
Yeah, we're like, and so... So anyway, and we stayed in touch with him and just kind of followed along the progress of Dant Crossing. And so the next thing you know, it's like, here we are.
Yeah, it's cool.
So we're going to be, until they say we can't, we're going to be the MCs at the Amp at Dant Crossing.
That's cool.
For
That's awesome.
for
That's
every
crazy.
concert.
Every Friday and Saturday.
Yeah,
Till
we
October
just get a
31st, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, we just get to hang. We get to go out and do our normal goofy stuff, and then we just get to hang out and talk to people, and just have fun.
Just
man.
have fun.
Gets no better.
Yeah,
Gets no better.
And we have full access to come out here and fish anytime, as well as you guys do. If you want to bring some kids down and fish, he's stocked it, and he's going to stock it again. And he wants kids here, so that was a big selling point for me.
Oh, yeah.
I can go to concerts, and Wally is texting us as we speak, so it's kind of crazy.
Tell him to come on
We
over.
did. We told him. I think his thing was he's showering. They're both showering, but not together. That's what he said.
Yeah, so Jabo had asked Charles, and obviously, okay, they've got their first concert
Yeah.
tonight. So Charles, on the way over, we had mentioned to Charles, hey, we're hanging out with some guys from Indiana. They do a great podcast, and he's like, okay, well, I've got a few things I'm working on. I'll try to get over there. So Wally had just tried to call me a minute ago and was asking, what are you guys doing? And I was telling him, and he's like, are we supposed to be there? And I was like,
Yes.
come on over. I mean, that's cool. And that's when he came back and he said apparently he and Charles are showering separately. So we're probably fired after telling that story.
Yeah. We're toast.
For the right amount of bourbon, I can edit that.
The former MCs of the Dant Crossing.
We made one show, Jim. One show.
New MCs.
We
for
didn't even
Dan
make
Crossing.
we didn't even make one show, depending on when Alan puts us out.
Oh goodness! Well, I'm going to try to put it out this week, so Sunday.
Okay,
so,
cool.
All right, we're safe tonight.
You're
then.
safe tonight.
You get one show.
But
on
you may be out of luck for the Little Big Town show.
Shoot.
That would stink.
So
That would
for
stink.
our listeners, some of the major acts coming here is Little Big Town, obviously, here in a couple weeks. And the Little River Band is going to be here in
Yeah.
August. So
That's huge right there.
That-
You know, people, obviously, Little Big Town, I think officially, Charles Dant told me, sold out in 32 minutes.
Well, what was funny, we were driving down here, and I see it. Hey, they're going to be there. I think you guys were the ones that posted it.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I see, as we're still driving, sold out.
Yeah.
It's like,
It was quick.
Yeah.
It was quick. And what's funny is the employees here, we don't know when they're going to go on sale. They have it's a lockdown secret
Right.
when things are going on sale, and they might send a text say, "Hey, it's going to happen," but we're like that people on the outside. We're just waiting. We are not at liberty to say who's coming. We're under like strict contracts and stuff, but this is just a touch of what's coming in the
it's
future.
pretty awesome. So the Little River Band's coming in August. So the last concert my wife and I got to see before the COVID lockdown was the Little River Band. So
Oh, cool.
We're big fans. And unfortunately, that's happening like a week after we get back from spending a week in the Florida Keys, and we're going to be spent. So we're not going to make it down for that.
You got a tough life,
Physically
Alan.
and financially.
I can tell
Man.
he's got a tough life.
Man, nothing like Key West. Just stay there.
We all are.
The whole group's going.
yeah.
Man,
We're
y'all
all
are rock
going down.
stars. That's all I have
You guys
to
want to
say.
come down and
Hey,
be
are
on the
you- no,
podcast?
no, listen. No, I would like to join your all's podcast. Is there any way I can join your all's podcast?
Are y'all going during Fantasy Fest or something?
No.
Oh, good Lord.
So somebody knows about Fantasy Fest. So I lived in the Keys for 6 years. So in 2000 and I got to get my years right here. I think 2007, the float that I co-sponsored and I played music on won the Captain Morgan's Award at Fantasy
Nice.
Fest.
Was you in paint?
No, I was not in paint.
Good, 'cause I don't
No.
wanna see those
no,
pictures.
No, I was not in paint.
Wow.
No, listen, I've got a fantasy story.
Oh, God.
Oh, easy.
No,
This is a family show.
Yeah, so look, I have no idea, or I do now. I had no idea what this Fantasy Week stuff was. So I'm at a banking conference down in Fort Lauderdale, and so a banker buddy of mine, we're like, we're going to go down to on the weekend after the conference. We're going to go down to Key West with our wives. So we go down there. The only recollection I had of Key West was in October of 1997. My wife and I went on a cruise, and we had a stop in Key West. It was nice. It was peaceful. It was lovely. So I thought that's the way it's going to be this time. We get down there, and there's dudes walking around in thongs.
Yes.
There's we go in this one place, and this lady is completely. She didn't have no clothes on, J-Bo.
She's painting.
Yeah, and they were painting as we. I'm ashamed to say watched.
You're on the third floor, a place called Garden of Eden.
It was
Top floors are the best floors.
Yeah.
No, listen. This lady was right in the doorway as soon as you walked in there.
You didn't see a red-haired guy with a red Speedo on, did you?
Oh, Lord have mercy. There were people all ages. Like this one dude had to be 89, walking around with his leather thong.
There's nothing wrong with 89-year-olds, by the
No.
way. Just don't want to get them yelled at.
We don't
again.
get emails.
I'm not saying that. Yeah, golly,
Just
J-Bo.
didn't expect to see one in the thong.
I did not expect to see it. And then people say, "You guys are going to Key West? You know that's fantasy. What's Fantasy Week?"
Yeah, so Fantasy
I had-
Fest, it's
I
a
had
week of
no-
Halloween.
I had no
Yes.
idea.
And it is crazy.
It is nuts. It is absolutely nuts. But I have family members, an uncle. I won't call him out. So his name's Kenny Bowman. He's my favorite uncle ever. He swears that he will never miss a Fantasy Fest the rest of his life. He loves it there.
There are normal people. So here's my normal person story. So a guy I work with owns big company. He went down there, and he's actually got a house about 30 miles north of Key West. So he's down there all the time. So he goes into town during Fantasy Fest with some buddies just to grab a couple drinks. A guy walks up to the bar on the other side, doesn't see him. And he's got hardly any clothes on. He's got piercings in pretty strange places. And my buddy realizes this dude works for him. So he said he never said a word. He paid his tab, left,
Oh my gosh.
and headed out of town.
That would be terrible. It's terrible.
I guess, you know,
It hurts.
Hey, to each their own.
each their own. But, you know, life would be much better if they were just drinking bourbon.
Just find you a cabin and drink bourbon and
There you
stay
go.
away from the body paint, Jim.
Keep your thongs.
I
to
was,
yourself.
yeah, it was a shocker for a little old Christian boy that does a Sunday morning show.
But just think about it. You worry about yourself. Think about the painter that was painting the 89-year-old stuff. I mean, that's a lot of sag there, dude.
I wasn't watching that. I
I'm not
wasn't.
sure they got the right coverage there per gallon.
No paint.
I wasn't watching a 89-year-old get painted.
Okay.
She was about 21, probably.
Oh, so no wonder you stuck around. That's good stuff. Man,
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, so, I will never, I don't have it in me to be painted and to walk through town.
You are getting a tattoo, though.
I am getting a tattoo.
Are you?
You
So
have
what-
a tattoo?
Not yet, but these guys don't know it. But I'm probably getting one in Key West.
Nice.
No,
Dude, that's
no
awesome.
tattoos here.
You're not doing it?
No.
What about you?
I'll probably die without a tattoo.
Yeah.
I haven't found anything yet. I mean, nothing against it. My son's got, I don't know, 5, 6. My daughter's got a few. I just haven't found that thing yet that I go, that's it.
I'll try to find the one I'm getting. I'm just getting a big old condenser mic put on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And,
So I don't. I mean,
Okay.
it's not that I have a problem with people with getting tattoos, but there's tasteful ones and there's
Oh,
other
yeah,
ones that's
definitely.
like, dude,
I'm right there with you.
You really want to die with that on you? Really?
I mean, my son and daughters all have meanings. They have their grandparents have passed away, so there's stuff with that.
True.
My son has one on his arm that's really cool. It's with fire, water as affinity, and all this. So it has a meaning to it. It looks really cool.
And,
but
and probably one of the coolest ones I saw was a guy had on his forearm a tattoo from a distance looked like a brown butterfly, but it was actually the footprints of his son. I mean, his
that's
son was-
killer.
That is cool.
So
That's
that was
killer.
that was pretty cool. Now that that one I get.
It makes
Yeah,
sense.
and if I've talked about doing one too, and if I did it, it would be about the kids and about my faith and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just not.
Jeremy's just
Yeah.
like a radio,
Yeah.
I just want a microphone on mine.
I just want to look tough around my tattooed friends. Just
so you're getting a microphone.
yeah, exactly.
Look, dude.
Maybe put some blood hanging off of it or something.
That is so not
Put some
cool when you're
barbed wire
walking.
on it.
When-
Some barbed wire on it. There
That's
you go.
not going to impress anybody at Fantasy Festival.
No, not at all.
We'll have to paint over that.
That is not going to impress anybody.
Oh, goodness.
So, what do you guys do on the side from podcasting? I know you're into everything.
Yeah, I'm in a little bit of everything. So, kind of like somebody here wanted to start in radio. Coming out of high school, I went to school for radio and TV. That's what college. I went
full
there
semester.
for
got a
one
whole
semester.
semester.
I came out, and I'm a little bit older than you guys, so I came out in like '85 and worked a summer job.
You're not too much dang older. Let me just tell you that.
So working a summer job, making $25 an hour. Now, back in 1985, $25 an hour, I was making as much as my dad was.
That's good.
He was a computer programmer. So I never went back to college for radio and TV. I worked my way up through construction, went through apprenticeship. So I'm a senior project manager now for a construction company.
Okay.
But I got started in podcasting and then realized how much I like radio. So, as you guys know, I started an internet radio station. So,
So he kind of jumped ahead a little bit.
Yeah, I did jump
'cause-
ahead. There's
'cause,
more stuff in
yeah,
between.
He took a little interlink. He mentioned Key West, and he lived in Key West, and so not a lot of people know it, but he's famous in Key West because he's the most famous country singer in
Nice.
Key West.
not for Fantasy Fest.
But,
so I did live in Key West for about 6 years. Played music down there. I have a maple syrup farm. Do maple syrup in the spring.
I saw that.
And do beef jerky, which started as a little hobby, which took off, and now we're a major manufacturer of beef jerky as well.
Really?
So that just kind of took off this year. So my hopes are in the next couple of years to back away from construction, concentrate on distributing more beef jerky, doing the sales into that, because that's hard to do when you're working
Right.
40, 50 hours a week.
Well, you need to send us some of that beef jerky. We're big
I'm
beef
going
jerky
to, and I
fans.
forgot to bring some. I was going to bring
that's
some
fine.
for you guys.
We love beef
so
jerky.
guess what? I even have a flavor called Speakeasy Bourbon. It's
Nice.
made with Kentucky bourbon.
Oh, that's going to be wonderful.
It's good.
It's
We
some
gotta
really
have
good
that.
stuff too. Yeah.
So
Good stuff.
from there, that's where I'm at now. So
Do you still play music?
not as much. So here's what COVID kind of knocked me down. I had COVID bad when COVID came through. So I had it in March of 2020.
Right when we were ready to start.
Yeah,
So
right
we
when
were,
we're gonna-
we actually decided to do the podcast before the big COVID thing came. We were talking about it in January,
Right.
and then our first podcast was going to be recorded like March 21st.
That's
Well, boom,
Boom,
you know?
right. I was in bed.
Yeah, and then he got we actually canceled the first podcast before he got
Before
sick.
I got sick.
But that next week he got
So you were one of the
definitely-
first ones that got it.
definitely
Yeah.
sick.
And we were all together the weekend
prior.
before he got sick. 'cause
Oh, no.
We're all together at Maple Fest, and we're hanging out doing our thing, and then the next week we get the phone call and like Alan's not feeling good, and we're all. I looked at my wife and I'm like, oh crap,
And that's really before. I mean, that was at the very beginning.
Yeah, so-
I'm like, it's just, it is what it is. Well, I got progressively worse. And my wife finally says, look, I'm telling you, you got all the symptoms. So back then, we lived in Indiana. So the Indiana University had a screening you could do online. And so then I went to an emergency testing facility that had just opened, got tested. Back then, it took over 2 weeks to get the results back. But they right away said, hey, you tested negative for the influenza strains A and B, so you don't have the flu. And you have all the other symptoms. So we're going to prescribe. So they prescribed everything to me. Didn't do much good. I mean, I was out for 3.5 weeks in bed. When finally the testing came back and said I tested positive for COVID, was the first day my fever broke. So I don't know if you've heard the term long COVID. Some people that have had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at somebody that suffered from that. I'm still not 100% of what I was before.
So he was probably as sick as anybody I know that didn't go to the hospital.
Really?
And
Yeah.
he was on the verge of going to the
We
hospital.
were going to the next day. We were trying to do it all from home. Fortunately, we got good friends that work in the medical field and work at pharmacists, so they got everything to us. So
he had a blood oximeter on
Yeah,
it, so
they had
they could
blood
watch,
ox
so they
the
could
whole time.
monitor.
So you were just a heartbeat away from a ventilator.
yeah,
Yeah.
And so what I'd heard, I was going in and out. I don't remember a whole lot, but I remember everybody I heard that was going in the hospital. For some reason, our little area in the middle of Indiana, or in the corner of Indiana, was a hot spot. 7 people died within.
Wow.
Yeah, so
It was crazy.
Our county, and we're adjacent to Cincinnati. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Our little county has population of 25,000 people. Well, we had 6 deaths in our county before Hamilton County, where Cincinnati has had their first one.
Wow.
So it was, and then he was sick. My brother-in-law passed away. He was one of those 6.
Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry.
And
It hit hard and
so
fast.
it hit hard
Right.
and fast, and so we were living it. I mean, we were living it, no doubt. And then it was. So we had planned the podcast, starting the podcast before that, on kind of a drunken stupor in a bar drinking bourbon. But
True story.
It'll be a good thing to do. Us all get
So-
around mics and talk.
So Ruben, who is not here, was the instigator.
actually,
Come on,
he
Ruben.
was the instigator.
There you go,
But,
Ruben again.
Yeah. So obviously our start of our podcast was delayed, and then if you go back and listen to our first podcast, other than our intro podcast, that's what we talked about, was the whole COVID event. Alan was had recovered to the extent that he was functional enough to actually be moving around, and that was our first podcast, and probably still to this day it's still our most listened to podcast.
Yeah, it's still our number one podcast.
So it's pretty heartfelt. We had a lot going on at that time for us, but then since then, the podcast for us, kind of like you guys, it's taken us places we never imagined.
Right.
I mean, to be honest with you, sitting right here right now with you guys,
that's awesome
too. So we've interviewed people like you guys have. We never imagined we would have conversations
So
with.
neat.
So
neat.
So this started with you asked me if I still play music. So
Yeah.
finally, I guess in 6 months after COVID, I did one outside gig with the band, and it just about killed me. I mean, I don't have the energy I had. So then ends up I have a heart issue that may or may not be attached to COVID, and I have all of a sudden I need a CPAP machine. Well, the CPAP machine makes me go hoarse. So I haven't been on it. I didn't bring it down, so I've been off it for 3 days. And usually we record on Fridays, so usually Thursdays I stay off of it. So that's kind of cut my singing down. Plus, I've been concentrating on the podcast right now, and the
beef
radio
jerky
station,
business.
beef jerky. So
Syrup.
singing's kind of been pushed in the background a little bit. Do I miss playing? I do, but I have so many other things right now that's just not in the forefront. So
a lot of what are you, a guitarist?
guitar and sing, and used to play piano a little bit too. And
Cool.
See, that was the other dream I had, was the DJ. The other one was to be a musician, and I would. Mama told me I was really good.
Gotcha. I didn't.
Sounded awesome, didn't you?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't have plans after 30, so I'm just been lost after 30 years old. So I'm just kind of winging it.
Guys,
No dreams.
Lone Star will, the lead singer Richie McDonald from Lone Star will be here at Dant Crossing next Friday night. And the song Mr. Mom is J-Bo in a nutshell.
Yeah, everything I do is on weekends. My week starts on Friday nights. Always has, with DJing and stuff. So during the week, I got to navigate kids to here to there and everything. So he calls me Mr. Mom for that.
Ain't nothing wrong with
So
that.
speaking
wrong
of
with
Good stuff.
Speaking of Lone Star, when I was playing music in my younger years, I was a part of a group called The Hollow. We actually opened up for Lone Star.
Really?
pretty cool. Yep.
Good stuff, man.
See, he's famous. That's why we just hang around him. We take the fall off.
No,
So what about this guy here? What about you?
Well, me, I grew up. I'm a mechanic. I own a garage and ATV business, so that's what my day job is, and that keeps me busy. Right now, our passion and my wife, we raise animals.
he forgot to say he used to be a NASCAR truck driver.
Well, we did.
Yeah.
I was getting into that. I raced ARCA trucks for 7 years, which was kind of the prelude to NASCAR, and then we made our attempt at the NASCAR Camping World Truck. So I drove in the Truck Series, and that was one of my dreams when I was young. And I always told my kids, and they grew up watching me chasing my dreams, and I've always told them, chase your dreams, shoot high. If you shoot low, you'll end up disappointed.
Right.
Shoot high and just keep going and don't ever stop. And that was one of my dreams. I always wanted to be in NASCAR. I made my race. I can Google my name, and it's
cool.
there. And we didn't win nothing. We weren't famous, but I was a nobody
You were there.
who put a truck together. I grabbed a bunch of my buddies. It was during the 2008 financial crisis. All my buddies were out of work. I said, hey, guys, I'll serve you beer. I'll feed you. I'll put you in a room, but I need a pit crew. And they're like, we're in.
Let's go.
So, I trained them to do what they needed to do, and we had a crew together, and we traveled a couple races, and we made a few, and, we had a blast doing it. Now I'm getting a little older, and we're calming down. Jeff and myself, we both have honeybees now, so that's kind of my passion now is doing bees, and we raise cattle. We raise grass-finished beef, so that's my passion, is just that's my relaxation. I know my wife yells at me because I got too many now, but for me, that's my get away from what I do every day and enjoy it. So I like doing that, and
That's cool.
So it keeps us busy, and my goal is to retire here in a couple of years too and slow down. I don't want to work till I can't do nothing else. I want to do things like this, travel.
Oh, Jimmy has some cows.
I do. I have 5 steers, I'm happy to say.
Yeah, he calls me saying bad words about them quite a bit. They broke my water trough or whatever. I don't know, man.
It's a floating valve, J-Bo.
I don't know.
That they did something to the floating valve that maybe had a flood.
I don't want
that made my water bill go up.
I don't want to talk bad about cows because there's a lot of cow lovers out there.
I get that.
Then we'll get emails.
And the steaks sure do taste good.
They taste great.
I mean, that's what he's got steers. He's going for steaks.
Well, I was going to say, one thing about having 5 steers is you don't have to worry about having 6.
That is
Absolutely.
so true. That is so
Absolutely.
true. That is so
J-Bo,
true.
one of the things that I'm sitting here as I'm listening to these guys, and we've already heard from Alan and we've heard from Dwayne, but I don't feel like we're as smart as these guys.
No, man, they're way cooler.
Which is a
We are.
common thing. Which is a common theme for our show.
Look, guys, look.
We're never the smartest guy in the room.
It's all smoke and mirrors on this side, man. Smoke and mirrors.
So I don't know. I feel like Jeff is going to be some.
He's gonna
astro-
blow
like,
He's
like-
an astrophysicist.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
does this
yeah.
on the side.
I mean, because we go from Alan, and it gets it gets a little better with Dwayne, and now it's like Jeff's going to tell us.
No, I figure I'm going to make you guys feel a lot better about yourselves. So I'm the guy that never knew what he wanted to be. And,
That's me.
And and just as life comes along, and you make decisions about what to do, right? So at this point, and somehow or another, I fell. I got an associate's degree in electromechanical engineering and fell into the maintenance world in manufacturing. And I'm a facility manager now, so taking care of buildings and equipment and that kind of stuff. And I'm probably, there's no doubt, of the group, of our podcast group, I'm the least talented and least interesting. But
He's the word, though.
Yeah, he's the word.
So what you don't know is he's quiet. You've seen him over here. He sits here quietly, and he's always at the corner of my eye. Usually he's in your spot, so I get to see him more. And you kind of see it. You see the thoughts building, and when he
wheels are
starts,
turning.
yeah,
Yes.
and when he leans up, we all just sit back.
Just sit back.
Because
But
the word is going to speak.
from what I've noticed, he is the heart of the group, though. He is the caretaker of the group.
well, I would say no. Alan, the producer.
That's his nickname.
He's the
right?
producer. So he's the guy that makes it all happen.
Right.
There's absolutely no doubt about it.
We're roadies.
I mean, when everybody needs reeled back in, that's me.
Gotcha.
when we get talking a conspiracy theory and we get way out there, or sometimes we get off on the political track, which we try not to
Yes.
do.
Trying, yeah.
Jeff will be like,
The word-
it's time to pull you guys back in.
The word leans in, and then we cut back into the reality. So
I like
No,
that.
so for me, I mean, again, least talented, least interesting. The most important thing I've done in my life is raise my family, my 2 children.
That's the best thing.
Amen, brother.
Both of them right now are engaged to be married. One of them's actually set a date. So
Wow.
So we're looking forward to that coming up here in October.
That's kind of poor planning, though, right? I mean, doing that to poor old dad 2 at once.
well.
boy and a girl though. So it's,
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that helps.
So only my daughter and her fiance are the only ones who have set a date in October. We are traveling to Oregon to do that. Why? None of us live there, including my daughter and her fiance. But that's where we're going.
Dwayne and I, what are you guys doing out? Maybe we'll get together
Road
with you
trip.
guys.
Let's go.
Get us a
Road trip
camper.
to Oregon.
I've never been to Oregon.
We've got some recording equipment.
My of the group of the entire 18 people that are going to Oregon, I think my daughter is the only one that's been there. But hey, it's her wedding.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
And then my son and his fiance live in Salt Lake City, Utah, and they have been together for 8 years. It took them that long to get engaged, so I figure I got some time probably before I have to worry about
I think
that
you're
wedding.
good.
Right?
I think you're good.
So, but that's that's it.
I'm sitting here thinking about these guys and mentioning going to Oregon. I feel like if we went to Oregon with these guys,
Jail time.
and you throw in Ruben in the mix,
Good old Ruby.
I feel like it would be like a hangover type of movie
gosh,
experience.
I can
Like
see
you would
that.
have the Mike Tyson tat on your face.
What's the other one with the bike ride, the motorcycle? Crazy. Or
That was
Wild Hog.
Wild Hogs. That's
Yeah.
more our speed than Hangover.
That was absolutely a classic movie.
Man.
We're too
Yeah.
old for Wild
Yeah,
Hogs.
the old-
I don't.
Hangover.
I would have to have the little side card. I don't do well on 2 wheels.
We're well too old for what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
It would be me and J-Bo in my little side car.
Oh yeah, I'd be holding on. I'd hold on for dear life.
Oh, goodness.
Well, boys, man, we have to go to
I
the
know.
stage
You got
and
stuff to do.
You got to work.
start to get things ready. You got to go back there and stretch out and get the nerves
Yeah,
worked out.
Get
actually,
the vocal
our
cords worked out.
yeah, our
Yeah.
boss called, so he's probably wondering where in the crappy boys are.
He's like,
He's out of the shower.
why the heck are they interviewing you when you're? So we're going to try to get them here to come see you guys.
Hey, we'll
That
be
would be
here.
great.
We'll
Yeah.
be
We'll
right
be
here, and the bourbon is flowing. So get them over here.
Yeah.
And they'll
well-
be tickle pink to see you drinking Monk's Road. So
Sounds like a plan. So we're hopefully just taking a short break and maybe come back with some
yeah,
New folks. So
Good stuff.
For Cross the Line 1524, I'm Alan Stanger with.
Dwayne Bischoff.
Jeff Montag.
And for Two Shots in the Barrel,
I'm Jimbo.
I'm J-Bo.
and we'll see you soon.
See you
Thanks, guys.
I tell you what, an awesome time we had with the guys from Two Shots in the Barrel, Jimbo and J-Bo. And that was just the beginning of the evening. Next week, our next podcast, you're going to get to hear from Wally and Charles Dant, the owners of Dant Crossing. And it's just a phenomenal interview. And then we get to talk to some of the folks who lived in the homestead at Dant Crossing back in the day. Just a fun time. So for Dwayne Bischoff, Jeff Montag, Reuben Hunt, I'm Alan Stanger. We'll see you next time.
Ain't no attention to the bottles on the floor. Okay, pretend well I'll have just one more. I came here, just one drink, and that's all I got now, don't you think? There ain't no attention to the bottles on the floor. Okay, pretend well I'll have just one more. Okay, pretend well I'll have just one more. Yeah, give me one before you kick me out the door.